How is it?
Very good.
哇，They look happy.
Yeah, they do.